This is what if Izuku was cast aside but held a hidden power? Let's begin. It all started when a child was born who shone brightly. From that day on, people obtained a special power, which meant that 80% of the population had one while the other 20% were discriminated against, no one supported them, they were humiliated, etc. Unfortunately, I am part of the 20% or I was part of it, but well, this is the story of how I became the best vigilante of all. Normal. We see many 10-year-old children surrounding a green-haired boy who was badly beaten. Izuku, enough, why are you doing this? What did I do to you to make you treat me like this? Crying. Izumi, for the simple fact of being quirkles and for being a useless crybaby. Katsukai, why don't you just shut up and let us have some fun? Izuku, please let me go, I beg you. Crying. Izuku would get up from the ground and with the only strength he had left he runs into the forest but is stopped because his body is frozen. Izuku, shit, come on, I have to get out of here. All the children began to use their quirks, leaving the green-haired boy in the shadow of death. Mizore Todoroki Fem, let's go before they see this and do something to us. So everyone left, leaving a bloody Izuku lying in a pool of his own blood. Izuku, no, this can't end like this, not until I become a hero. Barely getting up. Izuku while trying to get to his house comes across a fountain which he uses to clean all the blood from his body. After a few minutes he would arrive at his house but he did not enter when he heard a conversation. Inko, I'm fed up with having that useless guy here. Angry. Asashi, me too. What if when I get back we get rid of him once and for all? Smiling maliciously. Izumi, because we shouldn't do it. Smiling. Izuku hearing that was a hard blow, his family which he loved despite everything they had done to him for 10 years wanted him dead so with the strength he had he was able to leave that place that day something changed inside Izuku something that broke. Izuku, well if they don't want me then I'll look for a place where they want me although I highly doubt there is one. Sad and happy. 5 years have passed since then Izuku has been trained enough to defend himself from people with a very strong quirk and has been surviving since he stole food and lived in an abandoned house. Now he was walking under a bridge when a green slime comes out of a sewer. Baba, well, but we have here a defenseless child but well you will help me escape. Laughing. The Baba villain launched himself against Izuku but he dodged him and did so several times, making the villain angry. Baba, I'm tired now. Angry. He was about to attack but a gust of air stops him and makes him explode. Izuku would notice the silhouette which was All Might but he was not with his typical smile. Once defeated and captured, All Might would try to leave without saying anything. Izuku, am I waiting? Screaming. I don't have time kid, I have better things to do. Annoyed. Would jump and fly away, but before that, Izuku would hold on to his leg, landing on the roof of a building. Brat why his? Interrupted. Izuku, I can be a hero without a quirk. Screaming. Look boy, I'm going to be as honest as possible with you. You'll never be able to be a hero. It would be stupid for a quirkles to try, so you'd never be a hero. Angry. Izuku, but I thought that was a person who inspires others with a smile but I was wrong. Sad. And I only do it for fame and money, that's what all heroes do. Proud. Izuku, wow, to think that I once saw you as my role model, but it's all a lie. These days you can't count on anyone, not even your family, and especially not your heroes. Without expressing any emotion. But tell me what your name is. Izuku Midoriya and remember it and also remember this name Iran Black until later fake hero. Izuku left from there leaving and thinking. What would Nana think if she had seen me? So everything would happen as in the serious test which Izuku would not present in his place would be Melissa but she does have a quirk. Time skip. 1 week. We see Izuku training his quirk alongside his housemate if you're wondering how he got it. Flashback. 2 days after meeting Izuku was walking through the streets of Masatafu at midnight looking at the stars and a shooting star passed by. Izuku, I know it's very childish but you have to try, I want to have a quirk just so people can see what a real hero would be like and not like the fake ones now, why do I even try I just make my illusion bigger but it will never come true I better go back home. Me, I know it's a very weak idea how he got his quirk and that you were expecting something more epic but the truth is I don't know what event would make Izuku get a quirk so that's the only thing that came to mind. The next day Izuku would get up to train and leave his house but in the distance he would see a girl being taken down an alley. In the alley. Villain, but look, we have a beautiful little girl here, with a lustful face. This is what it looks like. No way, that's disgusting. Villain, come on, you're going to like it. Get away from me. Everything was seen by Izuku, who didn't know what to do. He just used his hand to shout at him to stop, but out of nowhere his hand created a bone gun. Izuku would be surprised and he began to pull the trigger. The guns began to fire bullets made of bones which hit the villain's arms and legs, causing him to release the girl and scream in pain. Izuku would run towards the villain. Izuku would be surprised and he began to pull the trigger. The guns began to fire bullets made of bones which hit the villain's arms and legs, causing him to release the girl and scream in pain. Izuku would run towards the villain, throwing him to the ground. Izuku, people like you should burn in hell. Villano, I didn't expect. Bang bang. Izuku would shoot him twice in the head, killing him instantly. Izuku, you're okay? Yes, I'm fine, thank you very much. Izuku, nothing, and of course I'm Izuku Midoriya. Extending his hand. Katsuru Kotonoha. Izuku, and tell me what you were doing here. Katsuru, well, it's just that I'm looking for a place to live since my family kicked me out because they couldn't stand taking care of Quirkles anymore. Sad. Izuku, your Quirkles. Exalted. Katsuru, you're going to make fun of me from now on, I'm not interested in anything anymore. Depressed. Izuku would just approach her, but she didn't do anything. She thought he would hit her, but she was surprised to feel that she was being hugged. Katsuru, what are you doing? Izuku, I know what you've been through, humiliation, abuse, discrimination, broken dreams, being told that you'll never be someone in life, among many other things, but you don't have to put up with it anymore and you know why. In a soothing tone. Katsuru, why? Returning the hug and trying not to cry. Izuku, because I'm here and you too can be someone much better than everyone, just try hard. Katsuru would only hug Izuku harder, breaking into tears. Katsuru, sniff, thank you very much. Crying. Izuku, I know you're homeless so you'll live with me, that's okay. Katsuru, yes, thank you for everything, how can I repay you? More calmly. Izuku, it's nothing, it's what a hero and a man does, so let's go, okay? Katsuru, yes. Hugging Izuku's arm. Izuku, okay. Happy. In the previous chapter, our talking bush has been being mistreated by his good friends and also his loving family that ends up breaking his heart more than it already was, just like she left you a few years ago, and to survive he had to steal and live in an abandoned house. In a meeting with his idol AM, he tells him that he can't be a hero and makes fun of him that he's a son of a bitch. After that, the lettuce gets a quirk. If you wonder how he made a fucking wish on a shooting star like every little kid and managed to save a girl named Katsuru Kotonoha who now lives with him, and this does not lead to the current chapter put in the intro. Katsuru, sniff, thank you very much. Crying. Izuku, I know you're homeless so you'll live with me, that's okay. Katsuru, yes, thank you for everything, how can I repay you? More calmly. Izuku, it's nothing, it's what a hero and a man does, so let's go, okay? Katsuru, yes. Hugging Izuku's arm. Izuku, okay. Happy. End of flashback. Katsuru, Izuku, it seems that the training has already lasted too long. Tired. Izuku, yes, we have to rest for a while. Tired. When Katsuru said rest, his eyes lit up as he thought he could already leave there. Izuku, to continue training. Animated. Katsuru, no please don't anymore, I'm too tired, I just want to sleep. Crying comically. Izuku, but we've only trained for an hour. Katsuru, but I'm lazy and I'd rather let you train your quirk so I can rest. Smiling. Izuku, okay, but tomorrow we will train more so that you can defend yourself so that you are almost alone, understood? Seriously. Katsuru, yes. Izuku, okay, rest. I'll be there later to make lunch, okay? Katsuru, okay. Izuku, and remember that people who smile are strong. Smiling. Katsuru, that's always on my mind. Smiling. Izuku, well, now you're going back home. He gives her a kiss on the forehead. Katsuru, what are you doing, fool? Slightly blushing. Izuku, what's wrong with it? It's just a kiss on the forehead to my little non-blood sister. Happy. Katsuru, we are the same age. Izuku, but to me you are younger so you will have to get used to my displays of affection. Katsuru, okay bye. Izuku, goodbye. So Katsuru left, leaving Izuku alone so he could train his quirk. PM present Mike. Name, Izuku Midoriya. Age, 16 years old. Quirk, Bone Weapons allows him to summon weapons of all kinds made entirely of bones, whether melee, firearms with accessories such as telescopic sights, silencers, etc., and also shields. The ammunition is his own bones, and the advantage is that if he breaks them he will regenerate at a very fast speed, but he has to eat foods rich in calcium. Name, Katsuru Katonaha. Age, 16. Quiek, she doesn't have any strength, but she has great strength since Izuku trains her to be able to defend herself. Izuku, okay, let's get to work. Izuku would be arranging cans to improve his aim and control the weapons he summoned, so Izuku finished arranging everything only to take a distance of 100 meters and summon a Galil with a scope and silencer so as not to attract attention. Izuku, alright, let's start shooting. Targets shot down, 25-35. Izuku, well, I'm improving, last time I only shot 5. Izuku would go to pick up the targets to continue practicing, but he did not notice that a man in a black suit with a beard and long hair of the same color was approaching, who took out his pistol and started shooting, scaring Izuku. Izuku, kya I say ah. Izuku, why did you do that? What are you doing here and who are you? Scared. First, I did it because you missed 10 shots, second, I'm here by mere coincidence since I saw you shooting, and third, my name is John Witch. Izuku, and what can I do for you, Mr. Witch? More calmly. John, I was just passing by, or because I always come to this place when I'm bored and I found you. Izuku, and with what weapon did he manage to shoot down the targets without hitting me? John, with my gun. Izuku, but they are about 100 meters away. Impressed. John, because of my great control of firearms, also melee and also my quirk. Izuku, could you teach me how to use firearms too? CAC, nervous. John, okay, but where do you live to tell your parents? Izuku would just lower his head. John, sorry kid, I didn't mean to. Depressed. Izuku, don't worry, it doesn't matter. Sad. Jaeon, boy, are you interested in coming to live at my house? Izuku, yes, but we're going to my house for my things and also for my sister. Happy. John, okay, let's go. Happy. At Izuku's house, Katsuru was sleeping when they started knocking on the door. Katsuru, who is it at this hour? Sleepy. Katsuru, I already remember that he is training well, what can I do? He goes to the door. Katsuru, it just so happens that I want to go back to sleep. Izuku, thank you, and I have something to tell you. Happy. Katsuru, and what is it? Izuku, well, we're going to move, so grab your things because we're leaving today. Very happy. Katsuru, yes. Too happy. Katsuru, but who is he? Pointing to John. John, my name is John Wick and I am here to give you a better quality of life. Katsuru, thank you very much, Mr. Wick. John, well, it's time to go, pack your things. Izuku and Katsuru would go to their rooms to collect the things they had. When they finished, they went back to John. Izuku lists stow. Screaming. Katsuru, but we're going to his house, I don't see a car here. John, that's the least of it. Izuku, then we'll go walking. John, no. Starts talking to his watch. John, Jarvis sends my car to my location. Jarvis, as you say, Mr. Witch. Izuku, but what happened? John, nothing, just call the artificial intelligence that I create. Izuku, seriously, that's awesome. With stars in his eyes. John, and what do you think? Katsuru, I thought he was going crazy. John. The depressive aura returned. Izuku, Katsuru. Katsuru, but it's cool. Nervous. John, well, the car has arrived, so get in and let's get out of here. Izuku and Katsuru, yes. So the three of them got into the car and arrived at John's mansion. In the previous chapter, our protagonist was training his quirk and then having a talk in which he would tell him to move and that he would train him, to which Izuku accepted, so they went to his house for his things and his sister also accepted, and so they waited for a car and arrived at Ik's house. What is the tutor preparing for them? Find out right now, put in the intro. John, well, the car has arrived, so get in and let's get out of here. Izuku and Katsuru, yes. So the three of them got into the car and arrived at John's mansion. Katsuru, it's very big. Amazed. John, okay, let's go in. Izuku and Katsuru, yes. So the three of them would enter. Izuku and Katsuru were surprised since they never thought of living in a mansion. John, well, this mansion is made up of 13 rooms, 8 bathrooms, 3 elevators, an attic, a basement, 2 swimming pools, 2 kitchens, a very large living room, and last but not least a very advanced military weapons room and also a torture room. Izuku, and what is the torture room for? Scared. John, in order to extract valuable information about the people you want to eliminate, along with other types of information. It could be about villains, false heroes, and even information about very dangerous mafias. Katsuru, but I haven't heard of any mafias. John, that's because they work in the shadows without anyone seeing them, and if someone knows about them they eliminate them quickly. And about the mafias that exist, there is the Italian mafia, the Russian mafia, and also, but I don't know if you should take it as a mafia or an organization of villains, but they are called the 8 Precepts of Death. Izuku, but if you know that information, why haven't they eliminated you? John, oh boy, they've been trying for over 17 years. Izuku, great, and what do you do with the bodies? John, I simply handed them over to their respective mafias but without a head. Katsuru, and why? John, look at those shelves with skulls over there. John, those are their skulls, I have them as trophies, ha ha ha. Katsuru, Izuku, I'm scared. Scared. Izuku, calm down, he won't do anything to us, ha ha ha, that's what I think. Nervous. John, well, go choose a room, and when you finish arranging your things, go down to the living room to talk about your training. I'll see you later. Take this, it's a map so you don't get lost. Bye. Izuku, okay, let's go. Katsuru, yes. So Izuku and Katsuru chose a room next to each other, arranging their things and meeting John in the living room. John, well, they're done, so Izuku, you will train with me while Katsuru will train with my butler. Stan, can you come please? Stan, Excelsior, what do you want, sir? John, I want you to train this young woman. Stan, as you wish, sir, nice to meet you young people, my name is Stan Lee, but just call me Stan. Stan, as you wish, sir, nice to meet you guys, my name is Stan Lee, but just call me Stan. Izuku, nice to meet you, my name is Izuku Midorilla. Katsuru, the pleasure is mine, my name is Katsuru Katonaha. Stan, well miss, we better get started. Katsuru, yeah, Stan. Leaves. John, okay, Izuku, come with me to the weapons room. Izuku, okay. John, we have arrived. Izuku, great. Surprised. John, I will teach you how to handle each type of weapon, as well as melee weapons and also self-defense in case they manage to disarm you. Izuku, okay, but where are the melee weapons? John, here. Izuku, wow, most of them are ninja weapons. John, exactly, and your training begins right now. So Izuku began his training with John, summoning every weapon that John gave him, greatly improving his precision and aim, and he also acted as a vigilante to gain experience and be able to show the results of his training. During his vigilante days he became a bit famous, known as Iran Black. This caused several heroes to try to capture him, including AM, but failing miserably as he shoots them in the legs to incapacitate them. Also, Katsuru's training had good results, being able to have a close fight with Izuku, but he can't beat him, which doesn't lead to the present. John, well, Izuku, your training is over, you have improved too much. Izuku, thanks John, but this wouldn't be like this if you hadn't appeared, and that's why I'm very grateful that you gave me and Katsuru a home, and that's why thank you very much for training me. Thank you very much for giving us a place to sleep and eat, and thank you very much for giving us a better life. Hugging John. John, Dineta Izuku. Returning the hug. That's when Stan and Katsuru arrive. Katsuru, yes, group hug. Hugging them. Stan, okay, join them. Going to hug them. But, wow, me too, wow. To give you an idea. So for a few minutes they broke the hug. John, well, I'll tell you something, do you want to be part of my family, not as Izuku Midorilla, not as Katsuru Katonaha, but as Izuku and Katsuru, what do you say? Happy? Izuku and Katsuru, it's obvious that yes. Happy already hugging him. John, well Stan, we have to celebrate this. Stan, I couldn't agree with you more, sir. So they celebrated all night, and meanwhile they were having dinner with the Midorillas, but it was noticeable that they were sad. Hisashi, this is weird, I feel like we're missing something. Inko, Me too. Izumi, me too. Hisashi, since Izuku is not here, the atmosphere in the house became sad. He was what made us feel that happiness, but, thanks to us, he left and never came back. Sad. Izumi, calm down dad, we will find him and give him the love he deserves. Sad. Inko, but it's too late now, maybe he hates us, we never paid attention to him, we always pushed him aside and above all we hit him, I think that's enough reasons for him to hate us. Sad. Hisashi, but we will find him so that he forgives us, but it would be better if we sleep since as me and your mother are teachers tomorrow we have to go on the USJ trip with you and your friends. Izumi, good night. Inko and Hisashi, good night Izumi. Izumi, goodbye. Inko and Hisashi, good night Izuku. The next day Izumi and his family would go to the UA to go to the USJ. Upon arriving and giving a brief explanation by the 13th hero, some villains would enter and attack the Alabnos, but the ones that stood out were three: a bird on steroids, one covered in purple smoke, and the other with light blue hair and covered in hands. Everything would happen as in the original story, only that AM was defeated by the Nomu, and when he was going to give him the finishing blow, a bullet pierced his eyes, leaving him blind for a few moments. AM, good thing you arrived Snipe. EB, Iran Black I'm not Snipe, I'm EB. AM, what are you doing here? You came to help the villains, right? People like you should die. EB, better keep quiet since I know your true ideals and that those you show are just a false facade to gain fame and break the dreams of the innocent. Everyone managed to hear what they couldn't believe, but they all denied it. AM, and may I know what you're doing here? EB, don't you see, I'm coming to stop these insects? So you are that vigilante, I propose something to you, join me and you can kill whoever you want, whatever you say. EB, first, who are they and what do they want to attack this facility? Let us introduce ourselves, my name is Tomura Shigaraki. My name is Kurogiri. Shigaraki and the bird is Nomu. Nomuug. Shigaraki, and we are the League of Villains and we seek to kill AM and tell me you join us. EB, I'm sorry to say no, as that goes against my goals. Shigaraki and those would be. EB, saving people without making a profit. Shigaraki, it's a shame Nomu kill him. In the previous chapter Izuku and Katsuru moved in with John and began their long training. When they finished, John adopted them and with the Midorilla they realized that without Izuku their lives were too sad and they regret how badly they treated him and try to find him, but they didn't expect that the next day on their trip they were intercepted by villains. They were about to be defeated if it weren't for the vigilante Iran Black. That brings us to the present. Put in the intro. Shigaraki, and we are the League of Villains and we seek to kill AM and tell me you join us. EB, I'm sorry to say no, as that goes against my goals. Shigaraki and those would be. EB, saving people without getting anything in return. Shigaraki, it's a shame, Nomu kill him. This is his suit. So the Nomu would try to charge at EB, who dodges it very easily and shoots him 3 times in the face, but he regenerates. Shigaraki, ha 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 Nomu has the quirks of regeneration, increased strength and shock absorption and is made to finish off AM, laughing like crazy. EB, you said it's made for AM but not for me so I just have to exhaust the shock absorption. AM, EB you won't be able to do it if I couldn't, you won't be able to do it either. EB, shut up, useless, because unlike you, I can overcome the limit, so. All of you stay away from here, understood? Shouting. Katsuki, and WHO decided IT? Screaming and trying to give him an explosion. EB, it was decided by the person who has experience in killing people, the person who does not regret eliminating trash like you. Katsuki, I can't just stand by and watch a stranger risk his life to help us, I want to help you. EB, I appreciate your support but it's better if no one butts in, better get some sleep Kachan. Katsuki D. Deku. EB hit his neck, leaving him unconscious, and threw him with the others who were already gathered and watching the fight that was going to take place. Shigaraki, well Nomu finish him off and then kill all the brats. EB, over my dead body. So EB shoots him in the head but the Nomu keeps running throwing a punch that he manages to dodge but the Nomu throws another punch that hits him squarely throwing EB into the air but EB summons an assault rifle made of bones. Starting to shoot left and right while all the bullets enter the body of the Nomu which expanded inside it causing great damage but regenerating but at a slower pace. EB, damn, if I continue like this, he will continue to regenerate and if not, I will be defeated soon. He must have a weak point, but what would it be? When the Nomu finished recovering, He tried to grab his head, but EB dodged him and struck the Nomu's head, more precisely in the brain, which stunned him for a few seconds. EB, his brain is his weak point. It's time to get serious. EB summons a sword to decapitate the Nomu, which he successfully achieves, only to grab the head and throw it into the air and summon a bazooka whose projectile was a skull. I couldn't find an image, so you'll have to imagine it yourself. EB, suck on this. Pulling the trigger. The projectile ended up exploding along with the Nomu's head, which did not regenerate, while the students looked on in amazement as the Nomu was defeated. Shigaraki, damn you, how could you kill the Nomu? Angry. Shigaraki launched himself at EB, trying to touch him with his 5 fingers, but stopped when he was pierced by 4 bullets, 2 in his legs and 2 in his arms, courtesy of EB. EB, listen, I'm not going to kill you just because I want you to tell your boss All For One who is next on my hit list. Shigaraki, how do you know about him? EB, oh, believe me when I say that when I investigate a victim I do it in depth, isn't that right Shigaraki, or rather Tenko Shimura? Shigaraki, how do you know that? Afraid. EB, I know a lot of things that no one else knows, so you better get ready because when FO ends, you'll be next. Shigaraki, Kurogiri retired. Kurogiri understood. So the villains escaped, only for the doors to suddenly open, revealing many heroes and even a mouse dog bear. EB, you are very late. Heroes 15 minutes late. Hero 1, the EB guard who was arrested by you, was interrupted by a shot to his shoulder, ah damn it. Screaming in pain. EB, does anyone else want a shot, but now it will be in the head? Excuse me young EB, but I want to make you a deal. EB, listen, how do you know that I'm still young and who you are? Oh, where are my manners? I am Nezu, the director of the UA, and as for how do I know that you are still a 16-year-old boy, after 3 days of arduous investigation they bear fruit. Amazing everyone by the age of the guard. EB, well Nezu, what's the deal? Nezu, the deal is this is the deal, you study at my academy, you will also protect my students, and you will be the teacher of Class 1A. In exchange we will give you a provisional license and we will erase all the charges you have. EB, you tempt me, okay, let's do it. Nezu, I thought it would take days to make a decision. EB, well it's an opportunity to be an official hero and it's also my dream since I was a child. Nezu, well it will start next week, I will be waiting for you at the address. EB, I better go now, but first, would you let me take a picture with you? Nezu, it's okay, I don't see the problem. So our protagonist took out his phone to take his photo, which shows him hugging the director while the director smiled, which made everyone break out in a drop of anime-style sweat. EB, well, see you next week, smoke bomb. A curtain of red smoke appeared, and when it dissipated it was already there. Nezu, see you soon young witch. Director, I'm sure it's a good idea to have you with us. Nezu, of course, he also knows a lot about even your true ideals, and also from what I've heard, he has eliminated the most powerful villains that have ever existed, he's only missing one and that's him. All for one. Nezu, exactly, and that's why I want him in my academy, and he can also give us information about villains, mafias or organizations. Okay, but I'll keep an eye on him. Nezu, trust me, that boy has a lot of potential to be a hero, even a quirk can become a hero if he wants to. With that remembered some words that were once said to him, but he doesn't remember who said it. I can be a hero even without a quirk. Please Nezu, that is impossible. Nezu, well, believe it, dreams can come true if you put your mind to it. Time skip 1 week. Our protagonist is seen in his vigilante suit in front of the UA. Izuku, well this is the beginning of my new path to be a hero. So entering the UA. In the previous chapter our protagonist was talking to a villain who was covered in hands whose name was Shigaraki Tomura, who wanted to kill and recruit our protagonist, who refuses. This disappoints the crazy hand fetishist, who sends a super mutated black chicken to kill our protagonist and also the students and teachers. But you will wonder, where is Well, he is a smoke seller who was easily defeated by the chicken that makes the green-haired boy have a fight with that thing, which he ends up winning but injured. In that more heroes arrive who wanted to arrest him for doing heroic things without a license, but then a mouse, bear, dog shows up which proposes him to work, study, take care of the students, which he accepts. After a week our protagonist is standing on the UA entrance for his first day of work, study, babysitting. That takes us to the present. Put the intro. Time skip 1 week. Our protagonist is seen in his vigilante suit in front of the UA. Izuku, well this is the beginning of my new path to be a hero. So entering the UA. Izuku, that's a big fence, but anyway, let's go find the director. So he spent an hour looking for the address because the school was too big and there was no one to tell him where the principal was until he finally found him. Izuku, wow, I was too far, tired. This is the door where the director was located along with the other heroes who act as teachers. Nezu, I see you finally arrived, young witch, happy. Izuku, I would have arrived earlier but I got lost and it took me an hour to find him. PM present Mike, you see, director, I told you to put a map at the entrance so that no one would get lost and find their destination more quickly. Nezu, yes, I will take that into account and forgive me for that, young witch. Izuku, no problem director. Nezu, well here I have your schedule and list of students from class 1A and 1B. Izuku, a Wantana like class B, this wasn't part of the deal, angry. Nezu, your needs are not my problem, ha 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 ha, laughing like crazy. PM, I understood the references, Captain America's dress. Izuku, you know the power of references, let me shake your hand from poet to poet, stretching out his hand. Nezu, of course, if he weren't a social misfit like the ones I have behind me, pointing to the other heroes except PM. Heroes, hey. Izuku, well, I better go teach the class in room 1A. So the protagonist left the office and went in search of room 1A, which took him another hour to find. Izuku poo fucking m mother damn director PM is right, they have to put a map, but oh well, let me see the list of the idiots that I'm going to educate and take care of, and I think classmates, let's see Denki, Momo, Izumi, Mizore, Sato. Katsuki, now fuck the rest of the idiots. Enter the living room. Izuku, the milkman arrived. Lita, who are you? You are the vigilante Iran Black. You are under arrest. She lunges at him. Izuku, boy, you're really an idiot, aren't you? He hits him on the head so hard that he falls to the ground. Izuku, well, forgetting what this guy did, I introduce myself, I am Iran Black, the most feared security guard in this fucking country, and the director made a deal with me to give you classes, study here, and also your babysitter. Any questions? Some raised their hands but were interrupted by a shout. Lita, you are under arrest. She attacks him again. Izuku, you don't learn right. Already fed up with Lita, she kicks him in the face, leaving him semi-unconscious. Izuku, well, who were the ones who had questions? Momo, Mizore, Katsuki, Izumi and Mineta raised their hands. Izuku, well, what are your questions? Momo, how old is he? Izuku, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, but I'll tell you, I'm the same age as you. This surprised everyone. Mizore, my question is, why did you become a vigilante? Izuku, well, it's because the people who called themselves family and friends turned their backs on me just for one thing, and that's not having a quirk. Next question. Izumi, what is your name? Izuku, I'll answer that question at the end. Mineta, you prefer lolis or 1,000? A bullet interrupts him. Izuku, people like you make me sick, and that's why I eliminate them from this world. Katsuki, by any chance, does Izuku Midoriya seem familiar to you? Izuku, yes, a very good-hearted boy who always saw people cry because his friends and family abandoned him when he needed them most. He was kind, gentle, who only cared about the well-being of others before his own, but now he is just a person who does not care about anything, who would not mind killing just to maintain the safety of the places where he is, and who continues with his dream of being a hero, and that is what that boy has done for so many years, nostalgic when he started talking but serious when he finished. This made the students sad as they ended up corrupting a boy who cared more about the well-being of others than his own. Izumi, and by chance you don't know where he is, hoping he'll tell her. Izuku, yes, I know where he is, but he told me not to tell anyone except those I once called friends and family, seriously. Izumi, but why? Izuku, why do you really wonder why? It's because he hates you with all his being, he doesn't want to know anything about you, he offered you his friendship but they spit in his face. How would you feel if the people you blindly trusted stabbed you in the back? I ask you, if you didn't have Kirk they would be your friends, serious and angry. Izumi, boo. Interrupts her. Izuku, but nothing, they are only your friends because you have a quirk. Tell me, if Izuku had had a quirk, they would have remained friends and he wouldn't have ended up like I told you, seriously. Everyone was silent because he was actually right. Izuku, you guys really are trash. If it weren't for the director's treatment I would have killed you a long time ago. You don't deserve to be called heroes. Izuku wouldn't have cared if you had a quirk or not. He would have continued to be your friend, but he didn't have a shitty family and friends. But I've calmed down now. I don't want to continue arguing with shit like you guys. Go put on your hero suits, but quickly, pointing with his weapons. They all ran away, some scared, others sad because Izuku and the guard wanted them dead. Everyone had already changed, and when they got there the guard was already waiting for them. Izuki, wow, they are slow but well, what we will do is a fight, all of you against me, so get ready. Everyone was already on the battlefield waiting for the protagonist. Izuku, I'm here to kick your butts, anything goes here, so don't hold back. And by the way, the other masters will watch this fight along with all of Japan. That made everyone nervous since all of Japan would see them. Izuku, what are you waiting for? A kiss on the cheek begins. So everyone throws themselves at him just so the guard can put a smile on his face. Izuku, time to hit, pierce and humiliate these fuckers, ha 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 ha, laughing like crazy. In the previous chapter our protagonist was already inside the UA and it takes a long time to find the director, and when he finally finds him he ends up clarifying the rules so he can teach, and when he finishes he goes to classroom 1A to which he introduces himself as the guard Aaron Black. The children ask him questions that end up angering him and which causes the ex-guard. That's right, he is now a legal hero because of Nezu's treatment. Well, this ends with the now new hero challenging the entire class 1A to a fight that will be broadcast throughout Japan and in which everything is allowed, and that's how today's chapter begins. Put the intro. Izuku, time to hit, pierce and humiliate these fuckers, ha 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 ha, laughing like crazy. Katsuki, I'll get the whole truth out of you by beating you. Screaming. In that, Ibi shoots him in the knee and then kicks him in the chin, lifting him into the air, which he takes advantage of to grab his leg and spin on his own axis and use Bakugo as a stick and remove the other students who were nearby, and throwing Katsuki to the floor in great pain. Ibi, you're still a long way from even reaching my heels, so who's next? Not interested. Several students were nervous since they defeated one of those they consider the strongest, but some began to attack from long distance, like Denki with electricity, Mina with acid, Jiro with sonic waves and Mizore with ice. Upon impact it creates a cloud of smoke. Denki, they think we defeated him. Mina, I have zero doubt that anyone could withstand that attack. Shoto, but... Interrupted. EB, but the sorcerer doesn't even flinch. Mina, we're screwed. EB throws himself at them, engaging in close combat. Mina tries to hit him but he just dodges. Mina, don't dodge my attacks. Izuku, Mina Ashido, your quirk is good but you don't know how to get the most out of it, failed. He hits her on the back of the neck, leaving her unconscious. The other three then call the others to help them and end up surrounding EB. Lita, surrender, you are surrounded. With the other heroes spectating the fight. PM, what do you think will happen? Midnight, I think he already lost. Nezu, I don't think so. AM, what do you think will happen, director?
Nezu, you just go ha 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 ha, laughing like crazy.
Back in the fight. EB, I don't think it's going to be possible. At that he summons a minigun. And EB, let's see how much this little toy can do. So he begins to shoot and spin on his axis, hitting all the students in all parts of the body. Almost the majority had fallen, leaving several unconscious and others very seriously, like Izumi, Mizore, Lita, Katsuki who had already been able to get up, Kirishima and Momo. EB, all who are inconsistent are failed. Izumi, you are a monster, she says it very hurt. EB, look who says it, the person who made life impossible for his own brother. Everyone deserves this and much more, but hey, propose something to them. Lita, what? EB, since they are very damaged, I will have a one-on-one fight with each of you who have an opinion. Mizore, it's a good idea so the others can recover. EB, but who will be the first? Lita, I'll be the first to have you arrested for everything you've done. EB, and you continue with that, well I will make the fight as painful as possible, so get ready. The two were already about to start their. Lita started to run, hoping to give him a kick, which is easily stopped, and only to start slamming him against the floor many times, like Hulk did with Loki, to the point of hitting him so hard that he made the floor shake, and Lita bounced from the impact only to receive a kick in the face which made him end up going through the wall of a building, leaving him unconscious. This fight made the others feel fear as he wasn't holding back in the slightest. And meanwhile with the heroes. Aizawa, don't you think it's too much? Nezu, of course not, he's just taking out his anger on them, nothing will happen. Aizawa, okay, anyway we have RG Recovery Girl. RG, Oh no, dog, I'm not going to cure an entire classroom. I have a limit of students per classroom, so go fuck yourself. I'm going. Nezu, well, let them get better on their own. Back in the fight. EB, man, it didn't last long, I thought it would be stronger, but who cares who's next? Momo, I'm next. EB, well, come on, something to do before being defeated. Momo, why are you going all out if we are weaker than you? EB, they easily screw me. Momo, okay. This is how the next fight began, with Momo creating a katana. Yi. And EB summons a sword smaller than the katana. B summons a sword smaller than the katana. So Momo runs against EB trying to stab him with the katana, but EB stops the attack with his sword and begins to attack Momo very quickly, who is unable to defend herself from any attack, which causes her to be full of cuts. EB, I thought you would know how to use the katana better. When you attacked me you were going to attack and kill, since that movement was going towards my heart, and by the way you failed. He hits her on the head with the hilt, knocking her unconscious. EB, Bank, now who's next? Kirishima, I have meringues. EB, at least someone is excited about it, so I give you 6 points, which makes you pass my class. Kirishima, what a nice guy. PM, I understood that reference, well I'm going with the director now. EB, well, I'll give you the chance to hit me, use all your strength. So Kirishima goes against EB to give him a blow, which he receives in the face, but he did not back down or move his head with that blow. EB, you have a lot of potential, but you need more strength if you want to defeat me, so during the time I am here I will take care of training you. Kirishima, yes sensei. EB, well, let this fight end. Kirishima, I expected it. Kirishima, I was waiting for you. Kurihima, but since he's so fast, he didn't even give me a chance to cover myself. EB, don't get distracted in a fight. Kirishima, it can't be, it's too strong. EB, you're tired now. Kirishima, no, I can still continue. EB, well if you insist. EB, I'll show you a trick, watch. Kirishima, I even had my quirk activated and it hurt me a lot, without a doubt I want him to train me. EB, wise decision, your training starts tomorrow morning, I'll wait for you on the beach. Kishima, yes. B, it's time to finish the Molotov cocktail. All this leaves a poor Kirishima unconscious but happy for not failing the class and for getting a good teacher to train him. EB, next. Mizore, I'm next. EB, well, what are you waiting for? Mizero throws ice spikes at him, which he easily dodges. EB, what's up, that's all you have. Mizore, shut up. EB, come on, use your other side. Mizore, and no. EB, why? Because your father ruined his family, just for that. Mizore, shut up, you don't know how it feels that I only see you as an object that doesn't consider anyone family. Angry. EB, you may be right, but tell me, how would you feel if your family considered you a mistake, that they wished you had never been born to the point of abandoning you? Tell me what's worse. Mizore. EB, reflect on how your life is, on how you treated your friend Izuku, and when you have your reflection I will wait for you in the living room, now that this fight is over. EB hits him on the back of the neck. Mizore, thank you, falls unconscious. Izumi, my turn. EB, well, let's start. Izumi 1 for all 8%, whispering. EB stops the blow and returns another one with 3 times the force. Izumi, but how? EB, easy, I used to be a big fan of AM and I analyzed his attacks, and seeing you attack there is no doubt that you are his successor. Izumi, how do you know that? EB, I know many things, too many things. Izumi, 1 for all 100% is enough. Uzuku receives the attack which hits him in the face. With the heroes. AM, I highly doubt that guy could have withstood that blow. My successor is the strongest, no one can defeat her, he said arrogantly. Nezu, I don't believe that AM look. It looks like EB was intact. AM, how is that possible? No one could withstand that attack. Nezu, that boy is very powerful and it seems that he is not at his maximum yet. If now as a young man he is very powerful, I can't imagine that as an adult he is stronger than you. AM. AM, nobody is stronger than me. Nezu, we make a deal. AM, which? Nezu, a fight against EB. AM, okay, confident. Nezu, well, it will be at the sports festival. AM, okay. In the fight. Izumi, what did you think of that? EB, hey, that had to hurt. Izumi, impossible, I was going with all my strength. EB, what a pity it's my turn. B, what a pity my turn. EB, he 64. Izumi, I still can. EB, okay. Izumi, still. Izumi, take this. Izumi, but how? EB, I'm already bored, so I'll end it quickly and very painfully. This is for Izuku and all those you humiliated. B, I'm already bored, so I'll end it quickly and very painfully. This is for Izuku and all those you humiliated. Izumi, screaming from extreme pain and falls unconscious. Just imagine that the ear is your hair. EB, pathetic. He throws Izumi in with the other unconscious people. EB, well, the last Katsuki. Katsuki, go on until it finally ends. EB, that fight was personal, just like yours, but tell me why. Katsuki, EB, why did you bother him if he was your best friend? Katsuki just lowers his head. Katsuki, out of envy and to protect him. EB, like out of envy and what you said. Katsuki, to protect him. EB, I understand. Katsuki, I was envious because he had the behavior and ideals of a true hero, but I knew that if he managed to become a hero he could die and I would lose my best and true friend since everyone loved me for my quirk, but he was different and that's why I bothered him, so he would lose that idea and I would be his hero, crying, but I only did irreparable damage. Flashback. Katsuki, boy, give up Deku, you will never be a hero. Izuku, boy, why do you hate me, what did I do to you to make you do this, crying. Katsuki, shut up. He hits him in the face and Izuku runs away. Katsuki, please forgive me. End of flashback. Katsuki, and for that, gets on his knees, please tell me where he is. I want to apologize to him, for being the worst friend. He didn't deserve to be called a friend. I failed myself for not keeping him safe and I failed him as a friend. EB, get up, I'm not going to tell you where it is. Katsuki, why? EB, why? He places his hand on her shoulder. B, why? He places his hand on her shoulder. Imagine that AM is Izuku and the other Izuku is Katsuki. EB, because I forgive you, he takes off his mask and hat revealing his green hair and freckles. Katsuki, Izuku hugs him very tightly while crying. To give you an idea, I couldn't find a better one and this is not yaoi, although there may be small moments of these too. Izuku, this really makes you happy to see me again. Keisuke, yes, and very much so. Izuku, well, it's time to end this, so you better get some sleep, best friend. Izuku hits him on the back of the neck. Katsuki, thank you very much, falls unconscious but is held by Izuku. Izuku, it seems I won, he puts on his mask and hat again. EB, what does the future hold for me right now? What did you think of it from 0 to 10? If you were expecting an epic fight with Katsuki, no, you're wrong. Not everything here is solved by madrasos and it was very inspired. Izuku, it seems I won, he puts on his mask and hat again. EB, what does the future hold for me right now? A few days have passed after the fight, most of the students were still recovering since RG did not help them, leaving the days off to those who were already recovered like Momo, Kirishima, Mizore, and Katsuki. Elsewhere. Which residence? Katsuru, and what time are you going to UA? Izuku, maybe today I'm just too lazy. Katsuru, you're always lazy. Izuku, look who says it, I work there and you do nothing. There John enters the room. John, Katsuru, I have good news for you, happy. Katsuru, what's the news? John, starting tomorrow you will attend UA. Katsuru, what? John, you're not happy. Katsuru, no. John, why? Katsuru, because now I have to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning every day. John, but it helps you stop sleeping all day and start studying. Katsuru, it's okay but the uniform. John, I already left it in your room but okay, I'm going now. Bye, see you later. Izuku/Katsuru, goodbye. Katsuru, and tell me how you felt after beating up your entire class. Izuku, well, I was really able to vent to all of them even though I didn't think Katsuki would really care about me as a child. Katsuru, and now what will you do with him? Izuku, maybe recover the lost years, gets up from the chair. Katsuru, where are you going? Izuku, I really don't know, you just want to come and see what's going on the street. Katsuru, this will be like a date if I have nothing to do, blushes. Izuku, okay, let me get ready. Katsuru, okay. Outside the house. This is how they are dressed and they ignore the machete or knife and also the blood on Katsuru's clothes. Katsuru, and where are we going? Izuku, the truth is, I don't know, I was just going to see what he was doing, I hadn't planned anywhere yet, you want to go somewhere? Katsuru, how about we go to the mall to buy things for dinner? Izuku, okay, let's go. So the two went to the mall to buy the houses they occupied, but when they left, a voice very familiar to Izuku called them. Hey Deku. Izuku, hello cats. I mean Kachan and Mizore, what are you doing here, happy? Katsuki told Mizore what happened when it was his turn to fight. Katsuki, I came to buy some things for dinner and by chance I also met Mizore. Mizore, hi Izuku, and I was just coming for a walk. Katsuki, and who is Deku, pointing to Katsuki. Izuku, she is Katsuru. Katsuru, good afternoon, I'm Katsuru, nice to meet you, bowing. Katsuru/Mizore, nice to meet you, bowing. Katsuki, my name is Katsuki Bakugo. Mizore, my name is Mizore Todoroki. Izuku, and tell me what you have done these days. Katsuki, well, nothing. Mizore, I was thinking about what you told me in the fight. Izuku, that's great, hey, do you want to come to dinner at the place where I live? What do you think, Katsuru? Katsuru, it's no problem for me. Mizore, okay, I'll go. Katsuki, me too, Bomas, let me leave the dinner things at my house. Izuku, come on, we'll go with you and it's worth it that I'm going to go get Kirishima so that they can get along well since Katsuru is going to be her new classmate and it would be better if she already had friends since I don't see her interacting with other people, only with me and John, and that she only spends her time locked in her room. Katsuru, Izuku, shut up. Izuku, haha, let's get out of here. So the four of them went to accompany Katsuki to drop off his things at his house and also to Kirishima's house since Katsuki knew where he lives, and finally they arrived at the house where Izuku and Katsuru live, surprising the other three boys. Katsuki, how did you manage to have this house? Izuku, I'll tell you right now, but first let's go. So the five entered the house and Izuku told them how he met Katsuru, how they lived in an abandoned house and how John gave them the opportunity to have a new life. Katsuki, damn, what a great story, it made me cry and everything, but what an epic ending. Kirishima, that's something else. Mizore, oral. Izuku, well, who's hungry? All, me. So they got up from the couch and started preparing dinner, which was lasagna with chicken wings and spaghetti. Katsuki, well, it's late, we better go. Izuku, why don't you stay? Katsuki, tomorrow there are classes and we don't have our uniforms. Izuku, don't worry, the director sent us 2 pairs of uniforms, 2 for me and 2 for Katsuru. Katsuki, but yours. Izuku, since I'm a teacher, I don't need a uniform. Katsuki, okay, let's stay, whatever you say. Kirishima/Mizore, yes. So everyone was in the living room watching movies, playing, telling anecdotes about their lives until everyone went to a different room. It was all ready and Izuku got out of bed because he couldn't sleep. In the kitchen. Izuku, let's see where the milk is, I already found it. Katsuki, you can't sleep either. Izuku, ah. Idiot, my heart almost stopped. Katsuki, oh sorry. Izuku, and what did you come for? Katsuki, I was going to the bathroom but I found you here. Izuku, haha, there is a bathroom in every room. Katsuku, I didn't realize, but changing the subject, why? Izuku, ha. Katsuki, because you forgave me, how did you know I wasn't lying? Izuku, Kachan, I knew you weren't in it because I saw it in your eyes, I didn't see any trace that it was a lie. Katsuki, I see. Izuku, hey. Katsuki, what? Izuku, do you want to make up for lost time? Katsuku, of course. Izuku, well, we'll see each other here this weekend. Katsuki, okay, well I better go to sleep. Izuku, yeah, rest up friend. Katsuki, likewise. It was already daylight, the birds were singing, the flowers were blooming, on days like this, child. I mean, The 5 friends had already gotten up to start getting ready to go to the UA. At the UA in Hall 1A. EB, alright you fucking brats except for a few sentient ones or else I'll shoot you in the head. Katsuru/Mizore/Katsuki/Kirishima, his personality changes very quickly when he is a teacher. Almost all, yes sensei. EB, well, for those who failed, which is almost everyone, I will give them 3 different exams. Whoever gets a question wrong will fail the year. Those who did not take the exam are Kirishima, Katsuki, Mizore, and Katsuru. Izumi, sensei, why won't Katsuru take the exams if he doesn't fight against you? EB, because I can, because I want to and because I feel like it. Does anyone have another question? And if you're wondering why Izumi doesn't recognize Izuku because the fight was broadcast all over Japan, it's because Izuku told the principal that Class 1A along with Izumi's parents couldn't see the video. EB, well, those you mentioned go to the dining rooms. The hours passed and it was time for recess. EB, look, these exams are 100% correct and they are from Katsuru/Mizore Izuku. EB, hey, you know you shouldn't call me that at school. Katsuru/Mizore, sorry. Izuku, well, why did they call me? Katsuru, I wanted to know if you want to eat with us, playing with her fingers, blushing. Izuku, let's go. Everything was quiet. Katsuru/Mizore, what was Izuku thinking? Izuku, how babies are made in Cars movies. Izuku accompanied by Mizore Katsuru went to the dining room and when they finished they returned to the classroom so that Izuku could hand in the exams. EB, well I have good news and bad news. EB, the good thing is that almost everyone passed and the bad thing is that Minoru Mineta failed. Mineta, why? EB, just for not spelling your name right, you really passed all the exams just for you to misspell a letter of your name, you have something to say. Mineta, that I am a disgrace to the species. EB, exactly, with this I end the classes, now get out of my sight quickly. Everyone leaves except Katsuru. Izuku, let's get out of here. Katsuru, yes. We can see our protagonist calmly giving his class. EB, well as you know the sports festival will be in a week so you will have the following days to train so with that said you can get out of my sight except for you Kirishima this week I will train you so get ready. Kirishima understood sensei. EB, well, get your things ready because we're leaving now. Oh and Katsuru, tell Stan to train you before the summer. Katsuru okay, bye and good luck surviving Kirishima. Kirishima, hey, thanks. EB, okay, let's go. Speaker, EB please report to the director's office. EB, take me, now that what? In the office. EB, well, why did he want me as a director, seriously? Nezu, well as you will see the sports destination will be very soon and as a final event it will be a 1vs1 fight, serious. EB, and what does that have to do with me, confused? Nezu, well the fight will be between one master and another and the chosen ones were you and AM, apart from the fact that I bet with him on who would win, seriously. EB, I see and I bet on AM right. Nezu, you're wrong, I bet all my money on you. EB, what? Surprised cry. Nezu, I did it because I trust in you and your great strength, I know you can easily overcome it. EB, and if I can't? Nezu, I saw you endure a blow with 100% of your strength, if you could endure that you can endure anything. EB, okay, but I can't guarantee that I'll win. Nezu, we'll see about that, and by the way, have more confidence in yourself. EB, okay if that's all I'm leaving director. Nezu, goodbye Izuku. EB, well now I have to train more than ever. So he went to train with Kirishima. Day 1, they went to a forest where there were many stones and a waterfall and with this Kirishima's strength increased. EB, well, what you're going to do is carry a fairly heavy stone and use it as weights, but you're going to do it under the waterfall so you have more weight on top of it, thus increasing your strength even more. Kirishima, yes sensei. EB, I will do it too, but with more weight. Day 2, what they did today was increase Kirishima's defense with and without quirk. EB, well today we will improve your defenses. Kirishima, but I already have a lot of defense. EB, that's true, but what would happen if someone managed to break it? You would be exhausted and that would cause your death. Kirishima okay. EB, well, you'll have to endure 2 fights with me, one without your quirk and the other with it activated. Kirishima, yes. EB, well, let's start. Day 3, today they tried to improve Kirishima's speed and agility with his quirk activated. EB, as you can see, Kirishima, your quirk has a big disadvantage and that is speed, so today we will focus on improving your speed and also your agility. Kirishima, and how will we do it? EB, good question, and we'll do it like this. Today I brought some friends to chase you. At that, Izuku whistles and 2 lions appear. Kirishima, hey sensei, where do I get the lions? Scared. EB, I asked a favor from an old friend, and by the way, they will hunt you down, so if I were you, I would start running since they will follow you to kill you, but that won't be possible if you have your quirk activated, and you will improve your agility by jumping between the trees to escape from them, so start now. So Kirishima started to run and Izuku whistled for the lions to start following him. EB, I love the job of a coach, smiling. Day 4, well, they took this day so Kirihima could rest a little, so they didn't train. Day 5, today Izuku taught him to meditate so that when he is in trouble he can stay calm and not succumb to panic. EB, today I will teach you how to meditate. You can do this standing or sitting. It makes your mind go blank and helps you stay calm when you are in trouble. It also makes your body feel lighter. Kishima, okay. They spent most of the day like this, allowing Kirishima to do it perfectly. Day 6, today Izuku will teach him a martial art to have better movements. EB, Kirishima, you practice a martial art. Kirishima, no, I just hit people left and right. EB, and there is one that you would like to learn. Kirishima, if I wanted to learn kickboxing and boxing. EB, well, we'll spend the whole day so you can learn, but I'll give you some advice. Kirishima, like sensei. EB, it only hardens a part of your body so you will have greater mobility when attacking and also hardens the areas that will receive damage. Kishima, yes sensei. Day 7. EB, well Kirishima, today is our last day of training, so for this day I will teach you a technique that helps a lot to the one who performs it, and it is this one. Kirishima, he shouted, how can he do this? I clarify, I don't know how it learned his skills. EB, well that can be done if you remain calm, without thoughts and using more than 100% of your body's capabilities, thus making your body move at a high speed, giving the illusion that you have not moved, but it is very difficult to achieve, so we will spend the whole day practicing. Are you prepared? Kirishima, yes sensei. They spent the whole day like this, but Kirishima couldn't do the technique. EB, well, don't be discouraged, it was very difficult for you to do it in one day, so practice for longer, and with this the training has come to an end, so get ready because tomorrow will be the sports festival. Kirishima, yes, sensei, I won't let you down, excited. EB, I hope so, smiling. The day had ended just to give way to the sports festival that would be broadcast throughout Japan. In the witch house. John, today is the sports festival. Izuku, that's right. Katsuru, Izuku, you are going to participate. Izuku, no. Katsuru, why? Izuku, you'll see. John, well I just tell them to have luck, I'll see them from the stands. Izuku/Katsuru, okay. At the UA. Everyone was anxious to see if the training would pay off. Nezu, everyone, welcome to the UA Sports Festival. I'm Nezu, the director of the UA, and next to me is the drug addict, the underground hero, Eraserhead, and our referee will be the heroine, Midnight. Today there are 3 events plus a special one, so don't miss it. Excitedly. Everything happens the same as in the anime, except that Katsuki is first, Mizore is second, Katsuru is third, Kirishima is fourth, Shoto is fifth, and Izumi is sixth. The cavalry fights would be the same. And the important fights would be Shinso vs Mineta, Kirishima vs Tetsu, Mizore vs Yui, Izumi vs Monoma, Katsuru vs Lita, Shoto vs Kaminari, Katsuki vs Kendo, Reiko vs Uraka. Midnight. The next match is Shinso vs Mineta, go to the arena. In the sand. Mineta, the great Mineta, will defeat you and thus I will have my own harem, ha ha ha, confident. Shinso, hey, your hair is testicles, expressionless. Mineta, what do you mean? His eyes turned white and he didn't make any movement. Shinso, now I want you to strip and dance like a dancer. So Mineta started taking off his clothes and dancing and everyone started laughing at him. Shinso, now get out of the arena. Mineta left the arena declaring Shinso the winner. Midnight, the winner in Shinso, and the next fight will be Kirishima vs Tetsu. Tetsu go to the arena. In the sand. Kirishima, let's have a good fight. TT Tetsu. Tetsu, same here. So TT activated his quirk and threw himself at Kirishima, who hardened his arm to cover himself and counterattack with a hardened punch, causing a dent in TT's hardened cheek. TT, how could you do it? Surprised. Kirishima, my master trained me, seriously. TT tried to hit him but was stopped by another punch to the face and a kick to the left side. TT, how is it possible that? Kirishima interrupted him with 2 hard headbutts followed by 3 knees to the face. Kirishima, give up, you have no chance against me. TT never. TT would try to kick him but would be held by Kirishima, who hit him with the other one, causing him to start to fall, but Kirishima would stop him on the back. Kirishima, please give up. TT, no. Kirishima, you're so stubborn, take this from me now. The blow was so strong that it managed to break his armor and knock him out. Midnight, the winner is Kirishima, the next fight will be Mizore vs Yui, go to the arena. In the sand. Mizore, give up already. Yui, not until I show what I can do, even if I can't use my quirk. Mizore, what do you mean? Yui, I need objects to use my quirk but there aren't any, so I'll have to fight without it. Mizore, I see. Midnight begin. Yui tried to hit Mizore but she covered herself with her ice and attacked with her fire, which was complicated for Yui. Mizore, give up, you can't do anything now, you can't use your quirk and you can't touch me. Yui knew he was right, it was useless, but she still wouldn't give up. Yui, you may be right but I won't give up. Mizore, what does it matter? Mizore would throw a Ramadara at her that Yui managed to dodge and get very close to Mizore, dealing her a blow that stunned her for a few seconds that were used by Yui to kick her in the ribs and give her an uppercut. Mizore, I'm tired now, angry. Yui, eh. Mizore would throw ice stakes at her along with a cloud of fire that Yui was able to dodge but did suffer a little damage. Mizore, you're just useless, look at how you're like this. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm holding back and your quirk is useless, I would have already defeated you. You're nothing compared to me, so I'll finish you quickly. Everything was seen by Izuku, who saw how Yui looked at the floor with a sad face, and then he saw Mizore, who was going to throw a very powerful attack at him, so he quickly went to the arena to avoid a tragedy. In the sand. Yui did nothing and Mizore just had a big smile. Mizore, you're not worth my time, so goodbye. Mizore launched the attack, causing a cloud of smoke. The people were scared as they saw a poor girl die in front of them, and the teachers did nothing until a voice was heard and the smoke went away, revealing EB with his suit a little dirty from the attack. EB, wow Mizore, I thought you had changed, but I was wrong. Mizore, Izuku. EB, hey Yui, are you okay? Worried but it's not noticeable to others. Yui, yes. EB, well this fight is over so you can leave Yui. Yui walked out of the arena with her head down. EB, on the other hand, I am very disappointed in you, Mizore. I thought you had changed, but I was wrong, so don't talk to me again and I don't want you to get close to that girl, you understand? Mizore, yes, holding back tears. At that EB withdraws from the arena, as does Mizore. Midnight, the winner is Mizore and the next fight is Izumi vs Monoma. Go to the arena. Elsewhere. Yui can be seen crying. Yui, she Sniff is right, if it weren't for the fact that there are no objects Sniff, my quirk is totally useless. And who decided it? Yui, who's there? EB, it's just me. Yui, you Sniff, you are the person Sniff who saved me. EB, yes. Yui, do you think she could be a great heroine? EB, no. That made Yui even sadder. EB, you can be the best heroine of all and I can help you be strong without your quirk. He took off his mask, revealing a big smile. Yui, seriously, Sniff. EB, sure. In that, Yui, while still crying, hugged Izuku, surprising him. Yui, thanks Sniff, thank you very much. EB, nobody believed in you, not even your parents. Yui, oh, that's Sniff. EB, everything will be okay, I believe in you, you will be a great heroine. Yui, thanks Sniff. EB, that's what you wanted to hear from your parents. Yui, yes Sniff, but they had no hope for me. EB, all that will change and you know why. Yui, why? EB, because I am here to support you. Yui, Thanks Sniff, really thank you very much. That day Yui stopped seeing that Vigilante as someone bad but as her hero, a hero who has hope in her. EB, you better wipe away those tears so you'll look more beautiful. Yui, thank you, blushes. EB, well, you better go with your companions. Yui, wait. EB, what do you want? Yui, I can know your name. EB, in public you can call me EB and when we're alone call me Izuku but don't tell anyone. Yui, it's okay, Izuku. EB, well, I say goodbye, bye Yui. Yui, goodbye Izuku. That day Yui found a friend who believed in her, that raised her hopes and made her do something she hadn't done for many years and that was smile. Yui, thank you very much Izuku. Yui leaves with her companions and when they saw her they asked her where she was and she told them. Yui, I was with my only and best friend.